So, Shannon, with all you've seen this offseason, how do you think the Dak negotiations end now?
They're still heading for the franchise tag. This notion, man, Jenny, people crack me up. This notion that Jerry Jones selecting CeeDee Lamb with the number 17 overall pick in the 2020 draft is going to convince Dak Prescott he's done less his first 4 years, now take less money. Dak like, okay, I really appreciate that, Jerry, but still I want my money. I want my money. I'm confused. Somebody needs to help me out. I like CeeDee Lamb, but they talking about CeeDee Lamb like he Randy Moss. Really? I missed it. I saw a lot of Oklahoma games. I did not see Randy Moss out there when I watched CeeDee Lamb. I'm sorry. Now, he might turn out to be better than Randy Moss, but by every metric, you'd be hard-pressed to find someone, regardless of whether they cheer for Green Bay, whether they cheer for the Bears, whether they cheer for Miami or whomever. Randy Moss is one of the top 3 receivers of all time. And people are talking about CeeDee Lamb like he's Randy Moss. Oh, did you see? Oh, this Cowboys offense is about to take off. Really? Now, they had 2 receivers go over 1,000 yards last year, Amari Cooper and Gallup. The other receiver that went to Houston, Skip, Randall Cobb, had 800 yards. So let me say, okay, now Zeke's gonna bounce back and gonna have an extra 500 yards. So that's gonna give him 1,900 yards rushing. Amari Cooper gonna have an extra 300 yards. That's gonna give him 1,500. Michael Gallup gonna have another 1,400 yard receiving season. And they're saying that CeeDee Lamb's gonna have 1,400. How? Do you know how many yards that is? So can we slow down? Dak Prescott is not going to Skip. Dak Prescott doesn't see his value in other players saying, well, we got Amari Cooper and we got Gallup and we got this guy, so you take less money so we can pay everybody else. That's not how guys, Tom Brady thought like that. Let me take that back. Tom Brady thought like that. And at the end of the day, Tom said, after all I've done, this is what you reward me with. These new guys, Skip, nobody since Tom has thought like that. Drew Brees says, give me my money. Big Ben, Phillip Rivers, Eli, Aaron Rodgers, all these guys, Russell Wilson. My homeboy is not going to think, well, I need to save some money for Travis Kelce. I'm going to need 40 to 45 million. I'm going to need 100 plus guarantee with a $200 million contract. That's what's going to happen. So CeeDee Lamb has no bearing on Dak Prescott. I believe that Dak is headed for playing on that franchise tag because he has a number, he and his agent have a number in mind that he wants the Cowboys to get to, and I don't believe they're there yet.
Nobody that I know of, but I don't read all my Twitter responses like somebody I see through the camera here. Nobody I know of has compared CeeDee Lamb to Randy Moss. I'm having a hard time, as are you, that he's even being forced to wear 88, which might suggest he's Michael Irvin or Drew Pearson or even Des Bryant. The point is that it was a real possibility that Amari Cooper was going to sign with the Washington Redskins. I believe they offered at least as much, if not more money to Amari to sign with them. So you could have been down your number 1 receiver in yards caught last year, Amari, and you were already down Randall Cobb, who got overpaid to go to Houston because they'd given away DeAndre Hopkins to Arizona. So it's possible that if you went defense with your first pick in the draft, which was the distinct possibility, what if somebody had taken CeeDee Lamb above number 17? Well, it's possible you wouldn't have Amari or CeeDee right now. The point is, yeah, they're loaded at wideout right now. Would anybody argue that? Could you make a case they might, with their top 3 receivers, they might have right up there with anybody in the league with 3 receivers. We'll have to see how CeeDee produces. I told you before the draft, he's the best receiver in the draft. I told you he's a number 1 receiver, and if he rises into that number 1 slot next year with Amari as the 2 and Gallup as the 3, yeah, that's firepower. Go ahead.
So Skip, you make it so were they not loaded last year? You just told me last week they led the league in yards. They were one of the few teams that averaged 400 yards and won their games by at least 10 points. You told me that. So were they not loaded last year? So how many more yards? How many more catches? Randall Cobb had 55 catches, 800 yards. How many more catches, how many more yards is he going to give you than that?
Okay, here's the point and the question. Do you think CeeDee Lamb will be better than Randall Cobb ultimately in this league? I say he'll be better than Randall Cobb the first day he steps on an NFL field. That's how great he was in Oklahoma. That's how he projects.
Skip, you do know Randall Cobb went to the Pro Bowl, right?
I know all about it. I liked him last year. I thought he had a terrific year.
Yeah.
What are you going on record? I need you to go right now. I need you to go on record. Randall Cobb will ultimately be a better pro receiver than CeeDee Lamb. Help me out. I need you to go ahead and dig in concrete. Will you?
All I'm saying, Skip, listen, all I'm saying, Skip, is that before we anoint the next Randy Moss, we can't overlook what Randall Cobb did last year. Skip, he was unbelievable in Green Bay. Now, I'm not saying that Randall Cobb, but considering what had happened, he had been injured the last couple of years with concussion, had a knee injury. For him to come in, Skip, and he was the third option to give them 55 catches, to give them 800 yards, with Gallup outside, Zeke in the backfield. My only thing is, Skip, this goes to what you said about Dak signing. Skip, Dak is not saying, okay, y'all got me another weapon, so since y'all gonna need to pay him, I'm gonna take $5 million less. That's not how he looks at it. He's like, thank you, but I still want my money because I performed before he got here. That was the question.
Okay, now, my answer to Jenny's question is this. I now feel far more hopeful that Dak Prescott will sign with Jerry Jones sooner than later and not play under the franchise tag. The reason for that is not CeeDee Lamb, it's Andy Dalton. That was the steal of the year so far. Wait a second, Dallas got a guy that everybody had slotted to go to Belichick? Even you said on Friday's show, oh, he'll go to New England. Jerry got him for $3 million base. 7 total if he maxes out his incentives. That's incredibly great for a guy who won an average of 10 games a year his first 5 years in this league for the Cincinnati Bengals. He is now the backup / starting quarterback and the catalyst for this negotiation because I believe this will motivate Dak to make a deal, to compromise a little bit. And this deal will end up far closer to Jerry's final offer and current offer than to what Dak has been holding out for. Because Dak is going to see the handwriting on the locker room wall that, wait a second, Jerry now has a viable alternative. Cooper Rush was not viable. So you had Jerry Jones dead to rights. Jerry didn't want to go into the first couple of real games with Dak holding out and have to gamble on Cooper Rush, trying to win a couple of real games. Andy Dalton, Jerry will not flinch to go forward with Andy Dalton. So again, I'm hopeful that Dak will see the light. He will swallow a little pride. He will say,
why Jerry can't swallow pride?
Because he doesn't need to, because I told you from the start, and I'm right about this, and I will be proven right about this, Dak and his new agent are asking for out-of-bounds money, completely unrealistic, outrageous money that nobody in his or her right mind, if they knew the real number that Dak and his agent were asking for, holding out for, would say, yeah, Jerry should do that. Jerry is notorious for overpaying players, but this demand is so out of bounds that even Jerry Jones is saying, I can't do that. So he has finally drawn a line in the sand. And he's saying, no, I have a responsibility to Cowboy Nation and my fans and my football team. I can't wreck the salary cap for a young quarterback who's been very good, but has not yet been great. He's played 3 playoff games, and he's 1-2 in the playoffs. Okay, so you have to pay him very good money, but you can't pay him beyond Patrick Mahomes' money. Now, Andy Dalton gives you the out. he gives you the fail-safe. He gives you the safety net of saying, Dak, I'm going to go this far. I'm going to make you, for now, the highest paid quarterback, but we're not going to try to project and pay you even more than Mahomes will ultimately get. But if you dig in, if you quote unquote want to go to war with us, we've got an exit strategy. We've got Andy Dalton, who's made 3 Pro Bowls and taken 4 teams to the playoffs in Cincinnati. That will work. I'm good with that. As a Cowboy diehard, I'm okay with that plan B. I want plan A, and I still believe plan A is going to happen because of Andy Dalton. But if plan B has to kick in, I'm good with it because Andy Dalton could win 10 games with this team. He could get this team to the playoffs.
You keep saying that Dak is trying to go to war, but you guys started this war. When you went up there at the Combine 2 years ago and said Dak was going to need to give me a discount before you even started negotiating. So you already, how long, you going to fire in the DMZ zone, and then you're going to talk about, Dak wants war. Dak wants fair compensation. The question is, Skip, that I have for you is this out-of-bounds money on the old contract or the new contract the NFL is about to sign with this 17th game and this new TV contract? Is it out of bounds for that, or is it out of bounds by the old standard? Because the old contract does not matter.
The new standards. It's way out of bounds. Yes.
No. But see, everybody keeps saying he's asking for out of bounds money. They keep putting that out there. I know that's the Cowboys putting that out there. But like I said, I ain't gonna even get into all that, all this and all that. But that's neither here nor there. Now, but I know they feed you information. They feed you. I get it. Calvin Watkins get a little bit here and there. Clarence Hill Jr. get a little bit here and there. I ain't gonna get into all these numbers. All I'm saying, when they tell me how much is fully guaranteed, I'm not talking about being the highest paid. I'm not talking about you're going to get another $15 million at the start of the league year. I'm not going to talk about you got $30 million, $35 million guaranteed against injury. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when that man put Dak Prescott on that contract, he got $80 million, he got $90, he got $100 million coming his way. Not all that auxiliary stuff. You know, ancillary, you know how they do them contracts. They got like 55 pages and only one page matter. The page that says, hey, you got X amount of money fully guaranteed. Skip, y'all made this contentious because they should have never got to the end. I'm not giving you a discount when you made me go to war and I come back home and now you want me to say, pat me on the back and says, okay, now give me a discount. That's not going to happen, Skip. That man had to navigate minefields. 4 years. Go ahead.
While you were on the way to war, you had to keep stopping off to make another national TV commercial, and then another one, another one, another one. You're up to 12 national TV commercials. I don't know how much you make from that, but it's a lot. It's as much as any other quarterback gets. Maybe, I don't know if Brady will start doing more. I don't know if Mahomes will keep doing more. I don't know, but Dak is right at the top of the list in number of national TV endorsement contracts. It's only because he is the quarterback of America's team. That's what happens. That's part of the package. That's a perk of your existence because you happen to get picked in the 4th round by the Dallas Cowboys. You have to factor that into your earning power.
First of all, I want you and Jerry Jones to stop pocket watching what Dak got going on. Second of all, let me ask you a question. If you're the Dallas Cowboys quarterback and you win on average, say, like 7 games, 5 games a season, how many of those national commercials? Because remember, Michael Jordan said it best. Michael Jordan said that was my best selling point. Yeah, Gatorade and Hanes and all that other stuff was well and good. But if I'd average 2 points and 3 rebounds, ain't no Nike, ain't no Gatorade, ain't no Hanes. If Dak was not putting up those numbers, if Dak was not taking teams to playoffs, he's not getting those national ads. And everybody, hold on. Is Baker Mayfield getting commercials? He's in Cleveland. So if you're the quarterback, you're going to get an X amount of commercials. Now, if you win, you're going to get even more. So stop making it seem like only Dallas Cowboy quarterbacks have national ads, generate revenue outside of football. Stop that, Skip Bayless. You know that's not true.
Okay. Do not forget. The Dallas Cowboys have the 2nd most Pro Bowlers over the last decade in the NFL. That means they have drafted extraordinarily well, thanks to Jerry Jones, who did it again. He won the draft. He did get CeeDee Lamb, and then he drafted 5 other players who were steals at the slots that he took them. Because of that, that has to appeal to Dak's winning pride. He has to see what's there and say, man, we got a chance to win it all next year, thanks to Jerry and the personnel department and the people who have helped put pieces around Dak. The pieces are in place. He's not playing for the Bengals. He would have a harder time living up to those national ads if he were the Bengals quarterback. But he's not. He's got a dynamite offense, just packed full of weapons. Zeke and those receivers and Blake Jarwin and maybe a top 5 offensive line that over the last 3 years has been a top 1 or 2 offensive line. Those things have helped put Dak in position to get all those national TV ads. So I'm sorry. He's been really blessed to be the quarterback of the Cowboys, and it's time for him to compromise just a little bit and get this deal done.
I love how now you talk about this offensive line is going to be top 5, and after every week you come in here and say they got the golden tails kick. But let me ask you something. You said something very interesting that caught my attention. I was trying to listen to everything you say, but this really perked my ears. I felt like I was a German shepherd. My ears perked up in there. I was like, what's going on here? You said the Cowboys have the second most Pro Bowlers in the last decade. Is that what you told me?
Yeah.
With no Super Bowl and no NFC Championship game? What the hell going on, Skip?
Jason Garrett, he's gone. Coach Deadweight, he's out. Coach Clapp, he's gone.
Don't do that.
Don't do
that. Don't do that, Skip. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Now that's all Jason Garrett. That's all Jason Garrett. All these guys. Now, you just told me Jerry do all this drafting. Jerry get all the credit, and Jerry got none of the blame. But it's going to be very, very interesting. I'm going to see who y'all going to blame this year. Jason Garrett gone. Jason said, y'all can't blame me. But you know what? They're going to say, what you going to do when you start losing? You're going to say, Mike McCarthy got to get him out of that loser's mentality that Jason Garrett left. I already know what y'all going to do. I already know.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.